Yes.
Yes. Hello, good evening, everyone. Um, Please kindly confirm you can hear me, please. Hello, good evening. All right, good. Okay.
Hello, yes, we can hear you.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Olamide Abolaji. Yeah. Once again, good afternoon, everyone. I believe everyone is doing well today, and I welcome you to another session of the AWS Cloud Club University of Ilorin. In our commitment to ensure that our members are able to get introduced to AWS cloud computing, knowing what it takes, because we believe we have some newbies amongst us, and that's why we are trying to take it from the foundational level so that we get to the higher level as time goes on. And a major reason why we've actually hosted this event today, which tends to be an interesting one. We have a well respected speaker with us today in person of Mr. Bolaji Olamide, who will be discussing on the topic AWS career path and certification, how to get started as a student. Even though we have members who are currently not students who have graduated, or even perhaps they are not even students, they tend to also benefit from this great event. And I welcome everyone once again. And I would just like us to wait for some moments so that we can have more numbers on this call. Thank you very much, everyone. All right. So I think we are good to go. We will have more members who will be joining us while the session is ongoing. Um, Before I start, I would like to give a brief introduction. I welcome everyone who is joining now. I've introduced the group. You are welcome. So before we start, I would like to give a brief introduction of the speaker who will be addressing the topic today. You'll be addressing the topic on AWS Career Path and Certification, and the theme of the topic has been tagged "Getting Started as a Student." It is essential that we we as a students who are unknown, who are really not vast with what cloud computing is or how they can really get started. A lot of students have been quite curious because they don't really know what cloud is. They don't even know what AWS is. But we've been trying to always answer this question. But we believe that by we having this kind of events and sessions like this, we will definitely be having a bit by bit knowledge. And I believe that today the speaker will definitely do justice to this. He's an experienced person, and I'll go ahead to read his citation. So Mr. Abolaji Olamide, though he's he's bearing my surname too, that really amazed me a lot. I'm Abolaji Abdurrahman, he's Abolaji Olamide. He is a solution architect with a passion for empowering the next generation of tech professionals through cloud education and mentorship. With years of hands-on experience in designing and implementing cloud solutions, he has trained over 2,000 students across Nigeria and abroad. If you are really excited to hear this, I believe your emoji should be flowing, please. He has trained over 2,000 students across Nigeria and abroad, also achieving an impressive 99% success rate in helping them pass their AWS certification exams and secure high value tech roles. Mr. Lamide's expertise spans AWS Cloud and web development, and he has been at the forefront of delivering impactful training for organizations, universities, and community events. Is an active contributor to the AWS ecosystem and mentoring aspiring professionals in cloud computing. He is a strong advocate for career development. Mr. Lamide blends technical knowledge with practical career guidance, making his sessions both insightful and inspiring. His mission is simple. He said, helping people unlock global career opportunities through cloud skills. If you are glad to hear this citation, if you agree with me that this speaker is the main address, well, should I call it addresser, is the main okay, right, the emoji has been flowing, is the main person for this topic. Please, let's keep having that emoji while we welcome Mr. Abolaji Olamide. In case you don't know, he is an authorized instructor recognized by AWS, and to get to that kind of milestone is really big, and we really appreciate him for honoring our invitation to come to this kind of low level event to impact students. So I believe that if you are here today, you are never going to regret this session, and you will be glad to finish the session with us. I don't want to waste much of our time. I would like to introduce Mr. Abolaji Olamide. Please, you have the floor, sir.
Thank you so much, Abdurrahman. Just like you said, I was surprised too when I saw the surname, and for everybody that saw that, they've asked me. are you guys related? Are you guys related? Like, I don't know how to answer that question, but I was quite surprised. And it was like a lot of, I don't know how to explain to people, but it was just surprising. It's a pleasure to meet everyone here. Good evening, everybody. I'm glad to be with everyone here at the AWS Cloud Club University of Ilorin. And I want to really say a big thank you to the organizers for inviting me. And I would say, you first, let me first appreciate you guys. You guys are doing a lot of great works, because while I was in school, there was nothing like this to introduce anybody to AWS. Even sometimes in class, when I talk to people about AWS, people are like, what is this guy speaking? It looks like a foreign language when you mention AWS to people in universities. And one of the tech skills I was in vogue in schools would be hearing like UI, UX, web development. But when you talk about AWS cloud, people just find it like so different. So I really commend you guys for creating that awareness at the University of Ilorin, and I pray that Lord keep pushing you guys, and you guys do bigger things. So it's always an exciting moment to be part of community like this. Trust me, this is not a low-level community. This is a community that's actually going to be helping people transit into greater future. So it's a very good one to be here. And just like I said, my name is Olamide Abolaji, and I work as a solution architect at Macintosh Consulting. Macintosh Consulting happens to be the number one AWS training partner in Nigeria. And over the past years, I've been privileged to help individuals, organizations to design and build solutions, particularly on AWS. So not to talk much, this section is actually going to be very interactive, because I want to come on the side of be looking at it as a student. I was a student when I started AWS. I started learning AWS when I was in 300 level. And I could now tell you how it is entering into the cloud environment as a student, and how I was able to scale through the skills. So let me just share my slides so we could all move together. Just give me a moment. I don't know if Balaji, can you please help me with that? Adraman, is there a way they can help me with my slides to be up?
Oh, I'm so sorry. Yeah, my system is dead. I hope you. Okay, please let me speak with some core team member.
Okay, all right. So, why they're trying to bring up the slide, we'll just talk more about why AWS, right? Why is everybody talking about AWS today? Why is it looking like AWS is much like the new skill in town? And I think to give us more insights about why we are currently working with AWS. So AWS itself stands for Amazon Web Services, which I'm very sure some of us might be familiar with and some of us might not be. AWS is Amazon Web Service, and AWS is the number one cloud provider in the world. Like, it holds over like 30% of the global market share. And this means that every 10 companies using the cloud, at least three of them are on AWS. If you see any company using the cloud computing. So it's not just about the size, right? It's about who is currently using this particular platform. So let me just quickly start about my journey into cloud environment before we start talking about what this AWS is, how you can get into it, how you can navigate your path. And trust me, this particular career path, it's promising, and it has a lot of benefits to offer everyone. It's a career that welcomes everybody. You're a fashion designer, you are a baker, you are into airports, you're a tech person, non-technical person. AWS welcomes everybody, because I get that question a lot, even in class. Somebody will tell me, oh, I really don't have any background knowledge in technical stuff, so I'm not into IT. Well, AWS is actually a career path that opens its door to everybody. So coming back to how I started with AWS and how AWS has opened a lot of career opportunities, I started learning AWS from 300 level first semester. That was before I set my foot out into the IT world. And I'm very sure we have students here, and I would love you, and please, I do appreciate that you actually like take everything that this particular club is doing, because if these guys were in my school, then I knew I would have gone far. when I started off. I struggled a lot from the beginning stage. It was very, very difficult for me to get into AWS. And there was nobody, there was no club to hold me by my hand to tell me, oh, this is how to go about it, this is how to start. So there was no road then. I was just the one going through the bush with my torchlight and everything, trying to find my way into the AWS career path. So just like I said, I started learning from 300 level. That's a year because my course was a 5 years course. I studied computer engineering at Ikiti State University, and engineering course is about 5 years. So I got this stuff on this Google Ads that do run on your phone. Sometimes in your browser, you just see a pop up, and that day I just saw something like AWS Cloud. I've always loved what cloud. Like I have this passion of knowing what cloud engineering is, but then there was no opportunity. I didn't know how to start. So that particular day, I saw this advertisement on Google. I saw AWS Cloud Computing and all that. So I was asked to buy a course. I remember that course was about 5,300. Yeah, 5,000. It was a basic course on Cloud Practitioner. So I downloaded that course that day and I paid. That was around 300. I can't remember what year was that, but I know I bought that course and I started learning what cloud computing is. Trust me, it was not easy. It was difficult. Why I said it was difficult is I was being introduced to something that is totally new. Nobody in my environment even understand what it is. Anytime I go, because we had some clubs like Google Development Club, we had the Facebook, we had some other clubs in school that were into tech. And anytime I walk into any of those clubs and ask them, sorry, could anybody just explain this particular course? I got it and I really don't understand what it was. But nobody was able to like help me with it. So all through the first semester, second semester, I was just reading about it. When you're studying about something and you really do not have the technical knowledge around it, you just have to like just read what is there. Just like we used to do La Pola Crown. Do you understand? So I was reading it. I was understanding what the cloud environment is, the different kind of cloud. I was just studying about the theoretical aspects. Now, the old shift came in when I was going for my IT. That was around 400 level second semester. Then I was throwing out code emails. I'm very sure, and this is something that we as students should also practice even before you leave university. There's something they call writing code mails to university, right? All right, okay, thank you. I think I can share my screen now. Okay, please, can I just get an emoji if you can see my slide? All right, thank you very much. Thank you, thank you. All right, so not to just to continue from where we stopped, so I was talking about how to write code mails, right? Before I'm going to play this video, I'll just explain everything that happened along the journey. I'm talking about my journey. So I practiced what we call code emails. I was so confused of which organization to go to, and I'm very sure every student here would have gone through that phase. When you're setting up for IT, you really do not know where to go to, right? You just want to go to somewhere. But I would say that please, if you are currently you are going to be in that state of going to IT very soon, or probably you've done IT, you're still going to find opportunities to get into organization, please do not chase after money. Do you understand? And I'll tell you why. So when I got out, I was writing code mails. So what's the meaning of code mail? Like you pitching yourself to organizations that you really want to do this for them. So I found Macintosh Consulting online. I saw that these guys were actually like AWS training partner in Nigeria. Like this is actually a great opportunity for me to get into the cloud environment. So I started like bombarding these guys with mails that I wanted to join them for internship. And I had my internship letter then and my CV. So what I wrote in that CV was the little knowledge I've gathered from that course. Remember, I told you about a course in 300 level. So I was able to like pull up some things in my CV to tell them this is what I do, this is what I can do, this is what I've learned. And surprisingly, after about a month plus, I got a response to join the team. And that was how the journey of AWS began, right? I got into the team and I started learning and learning and learning. And today, I was able to grow from somebody who bought a course of 5,300 naira to becoming an authorized AWS instructor. I was sponsored by Macintosh Consulting because for you to rise to be an AWS authorized instructor directly with AWS, you need a training partner or any partner with AWS that can actually sponsor you with that. So I was able to grow because I found a space that could actually help me grow with that. So quickly, let me just play this particular short video that I created about how the old journey started. The first day, because I remember I had that clip, right? The first day I opened that course, what is cloud computing. I recorded that video because there was a burning desire in me that I was going to do something with this cloud computing. And I never knew that that video would actually be valuable because most times I've actually used this video over and over again. So just take a pause and just enjoy this short video. Is about 15 seconds or 16 thereabouts. All right, so that was just a short video of how I started the journey from what is cloud computing down to becoming an authorized AWS instructor. So I'll be sharing how I went through that journey and how this cloud computing that we're talking about today, how this can also open opportunities and door for everybody on the meeting. So let me first start and educate everybody with what's called AWS, because just like Rahman has said, we have some people who are just coming into the field. They want to understand what AWS is, and some of us also really understand, but we just need to talk and just be on the plain level on why AWS. Why is everybody going to AWS? If you meet everybody today and try to tell you, I want to go into cloud computing, which of these cloud platforms should I go with? Should I start with GCP, Google? Should I start with Azure? Or should I start with the AWS cloud? So first, just like I mentioned earlier, AWS is the number one cloud provider in Nigeria. And now, what does it mean for us, right? It means that there's a massive demand for AWS professional, right? Because this is the number one AWS cloud provider. This is the number one cloud provider in the whole world generally, like the old 30% of the global markets, right? So looking at it, just like I mentioned earlier, if you look at 10 companies running on cloud environment, about 3 to 4 of them are currently using AWS. So there is a massive demand for AWS professionals today. So not just within the African environment, it is global, right? You can be in Nigeria and as well work with different companies because this is a global service. So if you are also looking at that insight of you want to work with companies, even while you are still in school, because I have people who are currently under mentorship and today they are working directly with companies in the United States and the UK with AWS. So it's a global opportunity, do you understand? So what does it now mean for us? Like get into this cloud environment, all you need to do is first build our team is it started with AWS with career path and certification, right? So how do we now fully get ourselves into this demanding career, right? How do we like exhaust and get into this space to understand that cloud is a global service, right? It provides a lot of global opportunities. You get to learn a lot along the side. So the global cloud market is growing every year, right? In tech, anything in tech actually grows rapidly. So it's not just happening within Nigeria, it is across the world. Everybody is adopting cloud environment. So now the question is, how do you and I now get into this space? How can we get all of this remote and global job opportunities we've talked about? How can we now get into these environments? And that takes us to this slide, which we're going to talking about the AWS certification. Now, the cloud environment has, especially the AWS cloud, it comes with certifications. So this certification actually certifies you that you can actually prove to any employee or to any organization that you could be effective on any cloud platforms. And the first question people used to ask is, when I present you to this class, how do I start with this AWS career? The first certification you should take is the cloud practitioner. Now, most times, what I recommend cloud practitioner to people, especially if you are not an IT person, is that cloud practitioner is the fundamental of any cloud environment. So you need to know the fundamentals of cloud engineering, and under this space, you'll be learning different things about all the services in the cloud environment, how the architectures of the service is built, data centers, the availability zones. You will learn a lot of, and sometimes when you go to some trainings, they tend to give you more of theory, right? But we were going as far as just adding a little bit practical to that course. The course is not really practical oriented. Is to inform you about how to start and get into the cloud environment. So you're understanding every jargons, every terminologies, every services, everything you need to know about the AWS cloud. Now it gives you an edge when we are going to solution architects, because in solution architect, that's where you now learn how to you learn how to design in the cloud environment, how to build infrastructures, how to create IT services in the cloud environment. You know, just like the word architect means, you can build environments. Now, the question is, I'm a cloud engineer. How do I help people come into this space? Because I know we have different people. Just like I said, even if you're a baker, there's a space for you in the cloud environment. You just need to pick which of these certification to pick from. So we have the foundational level, the associate level, the professional level, and the specialty. You really need to go through these stages, which is the foundation, learning the basis of cloud. Then the associate level, you need to go through an associate level. Now, for solution architects, other solution architects, oh, you can't hear me clearly. Okay, how about now? Can you hear me clearly now?
Yes, I can hear you. It's
Okay.
fine.
All right. So for the associate level, right, we have solution architects and other solution architects. You get to learn how to build
I
IT
think it's quite
infrastructures in the
good.
cloud environment. All right, thank you. Thank you, Abdullah. So for the associate level, you need to go through one of the associate level, right? The solution architect is very, very important. From cloud practitioner, which is your basics, then you go to the solution architect, which you learn how to build IT services in the cloud environment. Now, after taking solution architect, which is like one of the most important certification you must have when you're either getting a job or coming to the cloud space, because you've learned how to build IT infrastructures. Now we have developer. Now, developer is actually very, very interesting, especially if you are either a web developer or a mobile app developer. Now, under this developer certification, you'll be taught how to build your services, like how to build website, how to deploy it on the cloud environment, how to build different web applications under this developer. So there are different services, and under AWS, we have over 250 services. So you can't really learn over 250 services at once. So that is why AWS has now broken the certification part for you to go through one of them after the other. Now, as you grow, because we have people who have done the 12 certifications, right? They have the jacket, they call them the golden jacket. They've done the 12 certifications. That means that you've run through almost over the 250 services in the cloud environment. So as you go deeper into these certifications, you also go deeper into all of these AWS services in the cloud environment. Now, the beautiful thing about this certification is the deeper you go into certifications, the more understanding you get in the cloud environment, the more knowledge you have to solve problems in the cloud environment. So let's not talk about the system administrator. We've talked about developer, right? If you're already a developer, you build mobile apps, you build websites. After going through the solution architect, you can dwell well with the developer. Now, another associate certification is SysOp. So sysops is more like the IT support team that you have in your offices, or probably if you understand what IT support do, is like just in case you have any issue, they can help you troubleshoot your cloud environments. They can help you check the back end, and also the front end of your cloud, just to ensure that everything you have is on check. So that's for your sysop administrator. So we have three associate level, which is solution architect, your developer, and the sysop administrator. Now coming down to the professional level, we have solution architect. Now we can, because it's exactly like we have solution architects from associates. Now we also have solution architects on professional. So this is just like an advanced career path again on the solution architects. And I told you solution architects, what we do is just to build scalable systems in the cloud environment, how we can build an IT infrastructure for any organization. So for example, let's say we all here together on this meeting, we are currently having a company, we're running companies together, and there's a need for us to have our IT infrastructures like our website, our database, our storage devices, our mobile apps to be run in the cloud environment. Now, before that can happen, The solution architect has to build something we call an architect. So let me come down to a very basic level. Before you build any house, I don't know if there's any civil engineer in the house. You have to get an architect, right, to help you build how the house. Okay, thank you. I think I have one of them in the house. They will structure everything, the skeleton of how that house will look like. So this is what you give to the builder to build a house. So they can't build any house without an architect. So that is how the cloud environment looks like. You can't build anything in the cloud space without getting an architecture of how that IT infrastructure will come up in the cloud environment. So the professional level now gives you a deeper insight on that career path. Do you understand? And for the DevOps engineer, right? I know most of us are hearing DevOps today. DevOps, what the DevOps guys do? So these DevOps guys, they help us with what we call continuous integration. Continuous integration is, let me make it very, very seamless so that we can understand. Of recent, most of us using our social media platforms, let me come down to as low as WhatsApp. I think about 2 weeks ago, WhatsApp made an update, right? Yeah, I don't know if everybody noticed about the update on WhatsApp. Now, that update you saw, it was not like they brought down WhatsApp, that WhatsApp was not working for like 2 days or 3 days before the updates came up. All you just see is that from nowhere, you just find one feature on your phone and it's telling you WhatsApp will now send you one status stuff that you should go through the new updates. Now, that was the job of DevOps engineer. They were able to push out a new update. So that's why it's called continuous integration and deployment. So if there's a need for us to have any improvements in our cloud services, there is no need to pull down all the IT infrastructure. We have a DevOps engineer that can help us to like make changes without bringing now the old IT infrastructures down. So now coming down to specialty, right? So if you're into cybersecurity, you're into AI, machine learning, you're a database engineer, or you're looking at going into database aspect of the cloud environment, machine learning, security, data analytics, advanced networking, SAP. Now the question is, do I need to take all of these certifications? You don't need to actually go through all of these certifications, right? So the basic one you need to at least, so it starts as a student or anybody coming to the cloud environment, you could start with the cloud practitioner. You learn about foundations. Like you can't skip the foundation. And if you skip any foundation for any skill, when you're even in the school, you can't skip 100 level and 200 level because for every other levels, they built on the foundation of 100 level and 200 level. Do you understand? So you need to go through the basic, which is the cloud practitioner. Then you learn how to architect and build in the cloud environment with solution architects. Now, from your solution architects, you cannot decide which of these specialty do I want to go into, or which of these professional skills do I want to pick into. Do you understand? So if you understand that after learning how to design in the cloud environment, how to set up different architectures, how to build any tier of architectures in the cloud environment, you now want to go into the developer aspect of it. So you don't even need to be a web developer before you can take developer course. That's the most interesting part of it because I get that question a lot. They'll tell you, I'm not a web developer, I'm not a mobile developer. How do I now like start this certification? Everything you need to know under a developer as an AWS person will be taught to you in the class, especially if you have an instructor that is patient enough to carry out you from the very step to the last end. Do you understand? So you really do not need to have so much knowledge, right, as a developer before you can come in. But there will be some basic requirements that you need to run through, like understanding few scripts, like how to write few HTML codes, Python, and all of that. And today, because AI has also made things so seamless that you really do not need to learn all the libraries under programming. So, and I think this is what takes people back a lot when coming to the cloud space. They tell you, do I need to learn how to program? Do I need to learn how to write programming language before I come to the cloud space? And I'm glad to announce to you today that you can succeed as a cloud engineer without learning so much about programming. Do you understand? All you just need to understand is the basic libraries under each of these tech. So if you want to be a solution architect, right, you are just going to be building. But I would say do not stop at solution architect because also I didn't stop at being solution architect. I was hungry for more knowledge. So you start from the very base, which is cloud practitioner, right? You move to solution architect. When you get to solution architect, I'm very sure when you get to solution architect, you'll be so hungry to now get more knowledge. How do I like develop applications on the cloud environment? How do I like secure the cloud environment? And that's how you go from one certification to every other certification. So this is how to now start your career path. You need to go through the foundations of the cloud environment, understanding what are the basics of cloud environment. You learn how to design and build architecture. Then you can now start going ahead to develop and deploy applications to the cloud environment. And check out one of these specialties. If you want to be a network person in the cloud environment, you can also go for it. And another question people ask is because under solution architect, it covers a lot of modules. You're going to talk about security, you talk about database, you talk about machine learning, you talk about data analysis, but you are not going deep. That is why these ones are not called specialty. So if you want to go deeper into networking in the cloud environment, you want to go deeper into database, then you cannot take any of these specialty course. And just like I am also, if you also want to get all the 12 certification, right? Just like me, I've done about 4 of them, and I'm very sure I'm still going to get more of it before the end, like runs to an end. And even if I have plans to get to the 12 certification and get that golden jacket everybody has. Do you understand? So as much as you go deeper into the cloud environment, you will enjoy it. Trust me, cloud is a sweet skill. Like it's a very sweet skill because cloud can make you work with different person. You're just like a program manager or you're a project manager in the cloud space or in the IT space. So before they can even deploy anything, I remember there was a boot camp we did at Ogun State, and our project happens to be the best project. The question is why? The web developers had their own core team, the security guys and every other departments, right? The mobile developers. So what we did for our project is that we allowed the web developer guys to create their website. We allowed the mobile app guys to also do theirs. So what we did was that we carried all their projects at the end of after laying all the services and how to deploy in the cloud environment properly. We now deployed them on the cloud environment. Then also work with the security guys, how they can also do their penetration testing in the cloud environment. How can you secure database? How can you secure servers in the cloud environment? So we have to educate everybody that everybody needs to learn cloud computing. And you see, this particular skill will set you apart wherever you step into. I don't know if you went through those videos I shared from IT down going back to school. I was teaching my classmates and other even the department. I was teaching a lot of students in the department about what is cloud computing. When I got to NYC, I don't know if you want to see one of the slides. I took one of the slide lectures on cloud computing and we're able to address NYC. I'm very sure most of us have gone through the NYC scheme or we're planning to go. And you'd have seen scenarios of when people are trying to check up their call numbers, when you are trying to check where they are doing deploy to, and you just see that you see different links NYC1, NYC2, NYC3, NYC4, and NYC5. And before you know, when you go to NYC1, the server is already down. You go to NYC2, the server is already down. You go to NYC3, the server is already down. How do we solve all of these problems? The cloud has a solution to all of that. Do you understand? So we're able to address that even when we go to NYC. So in every environment you step into, you have a solution to so much problems. Every organization you'll be applying to, if you have a cloud skill, you will stand out. Do you understand? So it's very, very important that we learn all of this even before going out in the environment. So it's very easy to start, right? It is not difficult. All you just need is the passion. And now you already have a club that can even help you and guide you from the very basic step down to the instrument. So this is just how to like go through the certifications, and it's not really as difficult as people has planned it or say about it. So getting into AWS is very, very easy. All you just need to go through the certification part and get into it. So another question people will be asking now, because we have the tech. Now I told you that it welcomes everybody. There's a technical aspect of AWS and there's a non-technical aspect of the career path. So looking at the technical aspect, we have the solution architects, right? What the solution architect, because I talked about what the solution architect does, right? What we do is that we try to build scalable systems that are very, very secured in the cloud environment. We can create different IT architectures, any tier of IT architectures in the cloud environment, and it makes it so easier for people to build. So whatever you've created or whatever your architecture is, it's easier for people to now build on that space. So we're also looking at you being a cloud engineer, right? You being a cloud engineer, just like once the architect has given you the architecture of the house, you as a builder can now look at that architect and build that house with blocks, with stones and with irons. So as a cloud engineer as well, once the solution architect has given you the design of the IT infrastructure in the cloud, you as a cloud engineer need some services also in the cloud environment to build that IT infrastructure using some services on the cloud environment. Then we also have the DevOps engineer, which I talked about, that this guy helps with automation of deployments, continuous integration. They help to like improve your IT services without pulling down your IT infrastructures. So we also have another part, which is the security specialists. These guys, they help to like protect the cloud environment. And when you get in certification, they'll teach you about security of the cloud, security in the cloud, different things about security. You will learn how to protect your cloud because AWS is just providing you the infrastructure, right? And I think I also need to address that because most times when people thinking about cloud, you think about Google Drive, you think about your OneDrive and all of that. Cloud has gone beyond OneDrive, and just like what I've said, you could build a lot of things in the cloud environment. Any type of IT infrastructures, it could be the website, it could be AI, machine language, you build different applications in the cloud environment. So after building those things, there's a need to protect those IT infrastructures. Even if you're running an on-prem server in your organization, there's also some security measures. So there's a need to also secure those IT infrastructures in the cloud after building it. Then we have the data AI machine learning engineer. So what you do is as a machine learning engineer, what they do is that they build IT, they build automations, they deal with different AI services. So these are the technical parts of AWS. So because this welcomes, I told you that this welcomes everybody. So if you don't want to be on the technical aspect of AWS, you don't want to be on designing IT infrastructures, you don't want to build IT infrastructures, you don't want to automate deployments, you don't want to help different organizations deploy the application, you don't want to see how the security aspect of it, you also don't want to learn about machine learning. There is another part for you as well, which takes us to this next slide, which is the non-technical aspect of it. Now, the non-technical aspect of it are the cloud project manager, the cloud business development, and cloud trainer or educator. Now, what this cloud project manager does is that just like a project manager and organization does, they manage the affairs of the cloud environment, right? So you are not the one building IT infrastructures. You are not the one designing the IT infrastructures. You are not deploying any automators. All you just need to do is to manage a project. So if your organization coming today and there's a need for us to deploy any application or build any application in a cloud environment, they give it to you as a cloud project manager. Then you as a cloud project manager, you will not gather these guys, which are the technical team. You have to gather this technical team to build the IT infrastructure. So you really do not need to learn any of these services in the cloud environment. Now, another one is the cloud business development. Now, these are like organizations that are into cloud and IT services. All you just need to do is help them build any cloud solution and deploy it down to the technical team. Then you can also be a cloud trainer and educator. But you see, when you're talking about cloud trainer or educator, that doesn't mean that you understand the technical aspect of it. So a cloud trainer or educator can also just be somebody that take you through the basics of cloud environment. Then when you need to have like hands-on experience, they move you over to either a solution architect or a DevOps engineer or a developer. Do you understand? So being a cloud trainer or educator means that you understand services, like you can even take certifications because for you to write certification, all you need is the theory aspect of it. When you're writing those certifications, they will not ask you to deploy any services. They will not have you to do anything. So all you just need to do is read and understand those services, understand the simple basics behind cloud computing, the deployment phases, availability zones, those basic things that cloud that makes up cloud. Just understand it. So it's easier for you to now students coming into the cloud environment. So these are the non-technical aspects of AWS. Share that stand. So it welcomes everybody if you want to be on the technical side or if you want to be on the non-technical side. So the question is where to start? How do I not start, right? So you start from the cloud practitioner, which is the foundation of cloud services. It's very, very important that you understand the foundation of cloud environment. Then you now choose your associate path. So you go through solution architects because you need to go through solution architect to learn how to design. Then if you don't want to go through other ones like developer, if you want to learn how to build IT infrastructures as well, pick any of those associate levels. So you start with cloud practitioner, which is your first certifications, then go to associate. From associate, you can now decide to go into professional and specialty. So you understand that your first step today now to enter into cloud environments to go through cloud practitioner, which is the fundamental of IT infrastructures. Then you cannot start building hands-on, like work on hands-on lab because it's very, very important. And this used to be like a debate in my class about people coming to the class to learn and not just get the hands-on aspect of it. Do understand that there are people who are going into the non-technical aspect of it. So that's fine. If you want to be on the non-technical aspect of it, you really do not need hands-on knowledge. But if you want to go into the technical aspect of it, you need to prove yourself beyond certifications. And there are people today who have 4 certifications, 5 certifications, but when you put them into the field, they can't even deploy a simple one-page website because they understand the theory. Do you understand? So that takes us back to understanding that you don't really need hands-on experience to get certifications. But as much as certification is important, your hands-on is also very, very important. So it's just like your certification can take you into a room. Now, what will sustain you inside that room? It's your hands-on knowledge. So please do not despise hands-on knowledge as you are learning those theoretical aspects, just like it worked for me, right? I got the theory knowledge before getting to Macintosh, right? And when I got to that environment, what helped me was that they trained me on hands-on knowledge. Do you understand? Just because I have a few hands-on knowledge, I was able to like run through some things when I got into the space. So you need that hands-on to stay relevant in that room. So certification, yes, will open the door to the room. Then what keeps you in that room is the hands-on knowledge. So please do not joke with hands-on knowledge. Then just like you have communities like this great community like the AWS cloud, right? I really envy you guys because I didn't have something like this. I didn't have people who educate us on something like this. So join communities, beautiful communities like this. They teach you how to now like get more knowledge in cloud environment. They teach you how to navigate your path, how you could even like apply to jobs online, how you could go through certifications, how to prepare for your exams. And see, I used to tell people because if you read this citation, most of my students, I hardly see any student that go through me and feel I said to you, attend my class or you are not serious with the old journey, right? That's the only time you can feel. There are strategies to pass AWS exams. And how do you get all of these strategies? You joining communities, joining clubs, meeting up with people on LinkedIn groups. They will give you insights. There are people who have written 12 certifications and they will tell you this is the strategy AWS is. After writing about 4 to 5 certifications, I understand that AWS has 15 marked questions for you out of 50 to 60 questions on that platform. They've had 15 marked questions. So that means that once you start that exam, you have 15 questions to yourself. So you're not to battle with the remaining. And I think that question is about, I think 50 or 60. I can't remember because I think I took my certification like last year. So, but I know it's between 50 to 60. So you already have 15 marked questions, but you don't know this because apparently you don't have this knowledge. So you join communities, you join clubs that will give you insight. And how do you now pass all of these certifications? So don't be scared of certifications at all. So you understand, you will definitely pass certifications, especially if you have the right knowledge and you go through the right set of people. So it's very interesting that you guys are into the club communities like this, and it's easier for them to guide you into the AWS platform. So now, how do you now position yourself for AWS career? You've taken your certification. You understand what each of these career paths can do. So you need to build your portfolio projects. Right. Now, the cloud is very, very, how will I put it? It's very fragile, such that any project you build, it's just, they will call it pay as you go. If you run any server, if you turn on any service in the cloud environment, you will pay for it. So the question people used to ask me, especially in classes, how do I now get my services? I can't say I've deployed a 3-tier application. And they now ask me, where is the 3-tier application? And I cannot find it because I've turned on the services in the cloud environment. You spawned it off. So what you can do is you can build a portfolio of those projects. Now, it's something they call use case. What is the use case of your project? Let me give you a basic example. You want to deploy a one-page website, probably a resume or probably a business application or something. All you need to do to document all of this is document your process, step by step detailed process of how you deploy the application, the services you used, right? Then your cost strategies, because one of the things you should also know as a solution architect or a cloud engineer is how do you help to save costs? Do you understand? That is what is to set different cloud engineers apart. And even in your certifications, because AWS will train you to also learn how to save costs when you are building services in the cloud environment. So all you need to do is just to document them on either your LinkedIn. If you go to LinkedIn, you see a lot. If I look at my students actually doing that, even from the first day you enter my class, I will tell you document your journey on your LinkedIn. What are the services like we talked today? What are the hands-on services we talked today? Screenshot it. Once you are done with it, just screenshot it because you need to turn off your services. If you don't turn off your services, you pay for it, right? And we will also I'm very sure your club will you're like educate you guys on what we call credit and all of that. If you have some credits, you can run multiple projects. Take a screenshot of those projects, document it, write about it, post them on your GitHub, post them on your LinkedIn. So when there's a need for somebody to like tell you, oh, can I see what you've done so far? You've told me you've taken certifications, you've learned something about cloud. Now, how do I stay relevant in this career? So you need to document your journey from today, from the day you joined your AWS cloud, I mean this club, the day you joined this club, the day you started your first class, your first practicals, or everything you've done, please document them on either your GitHub or LinkedIn. This is going to be like a reference to people to show, because I can tell you that I'm a cloud engineer. I can tell you that I've deployed about 20 applications, I've deployed about 20 infrastructures, but there's no use to show forth. Do you understand? So you really need to see first, they will ask you for a certification. So ensure that you are certified, you know what you are doing. Then they want to see what you've done so far. Then you need to network, just like the way you're currently doing. Reach out to mentors that could guide you, join clubs, connect with people on LinkedIn. Like, it's very, very important to connect with people on LinkedIn. So you learn from them when they share stuff on either their LinkedIn or their pages. Then stay consistent. I remember when I bought that course for 5,300 and I opened it the very first day, I was looking dizzy because I really did not understand what it was. So I left that course for about 2 months, right? Then later I picked it up again. I started learning, I started learning, I started. It was a struggle for me because there was nobody to guide me. I never knew what I was learning. So I noticed that the more I dump it, the more this course leaves me. Do you understand? So you don't start your cloud journey, you start learning today and you withdraw, you leave it for like 2 weeks or 2 months. It will take you another 2 weeks and 2 months again to get back to where you currently are. So please stay consistent. You can start small. You really do not need to know everything at once. I understand that you are excited about cloud engineering, you're excited about how to get to the extreme end and everything, but you need to start small daily. It's like learning a bit, going it one after the other, picking those services and getting like a deep insight in them. It makes you it's they use this word, little drops make an ocean, right? So you stay consistent and ensure that you get it. Now, also you need to get certifications. Certifications are very, very important, especially when you're applying for jobs, because no organization will give you the IT infrastructure to manage or to deploy stores without showing that you are certified. Do you understand? But now, you as a student, don't be discouraged, because I never had certifications before I got a chance to be in the cloud environment. So now that you don't have this education, what do you need to do as a student? Start learning. Start with that foundational course. Get courses. Build hands-on experience. So let that be your priority before choosing certification. I tell people in my class, before we even round off any class, I don't talk about certifications. Because from the beginning, they'll tell you, how do I pass my exam? What are the strategies? I don't give strategies about how to pass exam. First, we need to do with the business. You need to understand what we're currently doing. You need to learn hands-on experience. Now, when you analyze that you are fit, then you cannot go to write exam. Because one beautiful thing about it is because there are strategies. Trust me, you really do not need to read all the modules to pass the exam. There's strategy, just like I said. But what can help you is that you already have the knowledge, you have hands-on experience. You really do not need any strategy to pass the exam once you have those things, because you've read and you have hands-on experience. So by the time you get to the exam, it will be relatable for you because you've already like had the knowledge about it. You also have hands-on experience. So I tell people a lot that don't joke with your hands-on experience and don't joke with learning the foundations and how the cloud works. Once you have these two things, you can crush any exam. I'm not scared to take an exam in the cloud environment because I actually understand what it takes. Do you understand? So when you get to set any certification, it is easier for you to crush it because you understand. But there are some people that I really do not want to take their time to learn those things. So what they do is they just, especially if you are a senior manager, you are something, you really don't need to get your hands dirty. But as a student, which is how I started, and this is like the best way to start as a student, learn everything about the fundamentals of cloud, learn how to build hands-on experience, and this will actually create a very interesting path for you to take your certification. So you really do not need to struggle with certifications. Now, it's not very important that after getting the foundation and you've gotten hands-on experience, you also now need to take certifications. So certification is like a credibility and it gives you visibility to people. Now that you have your certifications, you can now enter rooms, right, to stay relevant in the career space. So this is just how to position yourself for AWS career. So it's not really difficult to position yourself actually. So just like we've talked so far, we are really not going to spend so much in this. The key takeaway is that if you want to go into cloud today, anybody, just advise them to go with AWS. AWS is the leading cloud market today. I've had organizations coming for us for training. They are currently using Azure and they say come back to come and learn AWS. You understand? Because this is now the leading platform when it comes to cloud environment. And because AWS has a lot of career path, just like I said, it welcomes everybody, the non-technical part, the technical part of it. So the technical part of it, yes, can require coding. The non-technical part do not require coding. So it welcomes everybody. Then you have certifications to give you directions. So you start from foundation, you go to the associate level, you go to professional level, and you get to the specialty. So you can see that they've created a pathway that you can start small, then you start growing. The first certifications, I remember the first day I wrote my cloud practitioner exam, I was like the most happiest person on earth. I did not sleep that night because I was going through my score and the modules. Like, I really passed this exam. So going forward to the second one, I passed it. The third one, so it's giving you like an insight. So you are growing as you go into this education. So these are just the key takeaways so far. Ensure that you explore every opportunity in the cloud environment, which is the AWS platform. Check out the career paths that can suit you. Not everybody will be a cloud engineer. Not everybody will be a DevOps engineer. Not everybody will be a security specialist, and not everybody will be a solution architect. So you now really need to find your path. After you've done the cloud practitioner and solution architect, which one now entices you? Are you more of a developer? You can go to developer. Are you enticed about security or local environment? You can go to security. Do you want to learn how to automate deployment? You can go for DevOps. So there are different career paths that you cannot go into. And just like I said, start small and go one after the other. So these are just the few insights I want to share with everybody today. So thank you so much for having me. And I'm very sure I've been able to like open our eyes a little into what the AWS career path is. And if you have any question, I don't know, um, Raman, Harvey, and Lynn, do you have any questions so far? Is there anything I've said that you really do not really understand?
Yeah, so much, Mr. Abalaji. In fact, you've raised the bar. To be sincere, I don't even know how to really appreciate you joining this call. I believe a lot of people have their questions and they've been raising up their hands. I will, I will make. Okay, I will be calling upon those that are raising their hands. So thank you very much, Mr. Olamide. I really really appreciate the insight that you've actually shared. In fact, me personally, that I call myself like a solution engineer or something. I've also gained some things from what you just mentioned, and I
Thank
believe
you.
everyone on this call also has also gained something. So I believe a lot of people ask questions, so I'll be taking it one by one. Please, once I call your name, you unmute your mic and speak. So Favor Kulayo, you can go ahead, please.
Okay, thank you so much. I wanted to ask, based on, like, for example, I'm a student in computer science. I wanted to ask,
I'm sorry,
what
Ah,
course?
your Favor. Hello, can you hear me?
I
Your
can hear, I
voice
can hear
is
you.
quite low. Yes, kindly take
move
your
close to your
device much
mic.
closer to you. Yeah.
I'm asking, like for me, guys in the computer science
Um,
department,
Favor
what
still
best
the
course can
same.
It's still the same
sorry,
people. It's looking like you're sounding afar.
okay, sorry, can you hear me now?
If you're using a earpiece or something, you can put the mic closer to your mouth.
Okay, okay, I'm coming. Sorry. Hello, can you hear me
Okay.
now?
All right.
Okay,
Okay.
this
I
is
think it's
better.
better. Yeah.
Thank you. I was saying that for someone that is in telecommunication science,
Okay.
like in a university, this course can someone do in it?
Okay, you are
Like the best.
on you're on the okay, computer science students here. So they've divided you guys with telecommunication and right. Is that what you're
Yeah.
trying to say? So you're looking
Yeah.
at, you're not saying, oh, which of these career paths should I start with? Okay,
Oh yeah.
very interesting. What of you? I could also relate because though I did computer engineering, so you could start just like I said, right? You could start with the cloud practitioner, which is the fundamentals. That welcomes you first. Now, after you've gotten welcome to the cloud environment, you do your solution architect, which is very important. Now, you as a telecommunication engineer, right? I'm very sure you guys
Yes.
deal with services like all these building mass connectivities of net. Most times you also be working with networking, right? In
Yes.
like most of your telecommunication engineering and all of that. So when you come into the cloud environment, after going to the basics, you go into solution architect. In fact, everybody goes through solution architect because you need to learn how to build first before you now want to do any of that thing. So after going to solution architect, you learn how to build IT infrastructures. You cannot learn how to build services under your telecom. Now, for telecom, I know you people doing networking. right? You will be doing networking, you are going to be working with different aspects of communications, and there are services available for you guys under AWS. Do you understand? So for the career paths that you can start with as a telecommunication engineer, you can go through cloud practitioner, which is your foundation, your solution architect. Then once you are done with solution architect, you can move ahead to the networking aspect of AWS. So let me just take you back to that slide. So if you could see my screen, you could start from here, which is cloud practitioner, go to solution architect, you learn how to build. Then you come down to this place, which is advanced networking. Under advanced networking, you learn everything about your telecommunication, how you guys share networks within different spaces, how you could route um, this interconnection links that you guys do from one region to one region, one state to another state. You really can do that in the cloud space without digging the ground to run cables from Lagos down to Enugu. And if you notice today now, most of those cables, sometimes if you drive around Lagos or any place, maybe you see those cables that are coming out. So now those skills that you guys do physically, they've been moved to the cloud environment as well. So you can come into the cloud now, you learn the fundamentals. During the fundamentals, you will know which of these services address telecommunication, right? You learn solution how to build. Then you go into networking because majorly you guys work on how to like network services, communication between two devices, and environment like that. So you can go through cloud practitioner, solution architect, and advanced. Now it's very important that even after you build your connections, because you agree with me that even when you have communications over the internet, right, there's a need to secure that communication so they don't breach your internet, they don't breach it, or you don't see information where you are communicating with your services. So you can also take certifications on that security. Do you understand? So you can grow like that from basics, associate level, then come down to specialty, which is your networking and security aspect. So that address telecommunication.
All right, thank you so much. Favor, I believe that answers your question. So if that answers, okay, great. So you can
Pivot.
just,
Okay. All
all
right.
right,
I'll just confirm.
all right, you can lower your hand, please. Thank you. So I'll call on the next person. Frank, can you go ahead, please, Frank?
Hi, thank you. Can you hear me?
Yes, Frank, we can hear you.
All right, thank you so much. I'm actually not a student, but I find it very interesting because it's for everyone and anyone who is interested. One thing I would
Yes.
like to ask from you is for people who probably are not students, number one, they are not in your location, is there
Yeah.
is there a way you can mentor them or teach them from a distance? For example, now I'm not in Nigeria and I would like to participate in some kind of training in the South. What concession do you have for people like that to participate in mentorship and training?
Okay, just like the cloud space, because in fact, let's start with what cloud means initially. We are doing everything we're doing in cloud environments, we're doing virtually, right? We're not communicating with any physical infrastructures. Every infrastructure we're communicating, they are all over the internet. So yes, it's possible for us to have trainings and mentorship virtually. So just like I said, I've trained people across Nigeria. I had students in US. I had to stay because we are 6 hours ahead. So I had to like stay back, like sacrifice my nights while they are currently in the afternoon, in the evening to train them and all of that. So it's not really an issue. You can be anywhere in Nigeria or anywhere in the world, and you can get access to mentorship and get access to training. So that is not really a barrier for you to start your AWS career.
So how do we connect to that training? How do we start? Who do we talk to and such?
Okay, Raman.
All right, good. So Mr. Frank, the club is for University of Ilorin State though, but at the same time we are hoping to outsiders who wants to also benefit from our events and our boot camps or any kind of session we are trying to bring on board to help our students. So if you just have to stay updated on the group. If you are not on the group, I will share the group link on the group chat, and also you should also join our meetup group, which is always available online. From there you'll be able to get our announcements and any updates from us. And Also, okay, that would just be that. So, Mr. Balaji, LinkedIn profile will be shared to the group. So, if perhaps we have anyone who wants to, chat him or ask some other further questions, you can definitely do that too. I hope that answers, Mr. Frank.
Yes, thanks a lot.
So, you can lower your hand, Mr. Frank, while we answer others. We have a lot of them, and we've actually spent the time well, and I also want to delay Mr. Abulaji. So, can Mr. Mitokwe go ahead and speak? Temitok.
Good eve- good evening, sir. Thank you so
Hi, Temitope. Good evening.
much for this wonderful presentation, sir. Are you hearing me, sir? Good evening. Can you hear me very
Yeah, I
well,
can hear you
sir?
loud and clear.
Yeah, so my question
Yes,
is
good evening,
about
Temitope. I can hear you.
have any idea about cloud computing? Yeah, so I want to actually go into the non-technical aspects, and I see myself going into the cloud business development. So how do I go about this?
Temitope, please can you come again? Sorry, I lost you.
Okay, I don't have any idea about what cloud computing is, but now I want to start,
Okay,
and I've found that I want to go into the non-technical aspect, which is the part of cloud business development. So now, how do I
okay.
start? What do I start doing? How do I
That's
get
good.
for it too?
All right, that makes sense then. So now the question is, how do we start as a cloud business development? The first thing you need to do first is to understand the basis of cloud and AWS, because you cannot build any business use case or sell something to anybody without understanding the basics of what you're trying to pitch. So you need to understand the basis of cloud first. So you really do not need to be an engineer, just like you said. You just want to understand the value cloud for the business alone. So you need that certification, which is the AWS Cloud Practitioner. It teaches you how to explain AWS to executives, to business developers, to like decision makers. Because if you're currently working with any training partner or probably any solution partner, what you guys do as cloud business development is that you go ahead to different organizations and you pitch the cloud environment to them. So you need to pitch how they are migrating from physical infrastructure to the cloud environment. And you can't do that if you don't understand the basis of cloud. So when you take your certification under the AWS Cloud Practitioner, you're not learning anything technical. You're just learning how the cloud works, how you can move things in the cloud environment. So you're going to be learning something we call cloud economics, right? How organizations can save money, how you can, because one of the things AWS is now, that's one of the benefits is like you have what we call pay as you go. There's scalability. There is no upfront. What I mean by upfront is that when you want to break an IT infrastructure, you don't need to start buying server. You don't need to buy storage devices. All you just need to do is to come to the cloud environment, get any IT infrastructure you work, and as you use that, it's just like you have an event, right? And you rent a chair. You rent that chair for a day. Once you are done with that chair, you return it back and you pay them for that duration that you use that chair. So that's what we call pay as you go. So you are not buying those IT infrastructure. So that is how you can help organizations to save money. And just like to you, for you to understand better, one rack of a server as at 2022, it costs 5 million naira. Do you understand? And one rack of a server can actually do a lot of things like that. So you're helping them to save money that you're going to spend so much on different hardware. So all of this thing we call cloud economics, you will learn them in your cloud practitioner certification. You also learn how to like conduct selling, how people can understand pain points, how you can map out solution in the cloud environment for them. So when you go into different organizations, your duty as a cloud business development is to let them see what are the advantages, what are the things that could help an organization when they are currently running their services in the cloud environment. Do you understand now?
Yes, I understand. Thank you so much. I understand, sir.
You're welcome.
All right, good. Thank you very much, Mr. Lamide. And we just have two more questions left. So, Mr. Ahmad, can you go ahead and speak? Mr. Ahmad Ibrahim. Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought I've already moved the mic. I'm sorry, please. Good evening, sir. Thank you so much
Hi, good evening, Ahmad.
yeah, thank you so much for giving us a brilliant knowledge and shared to us. We really appreciate you. Thank you so much. My question is not much.
Okay.
It's based on, it's related to what Mr. Mitoko just said right now. Actually, I'm a
Okay.
graduate right now, and I'm a business educator. So I
Okay.
don't like more so. I don't like. I don't love technical part much, but I'm a passionate about education part, and also passionate about graphics designer. So, and I
Okay.
want to like, where can I input these two skills? Because I'm a business educator, I'm an educator, let me say in a short. So can I join both the business development and cloud training or education, or I must take one? And how can I go about it? And which one do you think, as a passionate of I am, which one do you think will be the best to the field of my career I study and what I love most?
Okay. Well done, Ahmad. I love this your question. So, just like I addressed Timmy as well. So you have a lot of things like on your hand right now that can make you skyrocket your cloud skills and also in the career part. So I'm very sure not everybody likes the technical part. So just like I said, it welcomes everybody. So you have a design skill. You are also a business educator, and I'm very sure as a business educator, you must know how to talk, you must know how to pitch. So those things are even like there are skills that are not even related to AWS. That's like your personal skills that you need to build being a business educator and all of that. You know how to talk very well. So before you
Exactly.
can now be a business developer in the cloud environment, you need, just like I said, you need to understand the basics. Now, if you understand the basics, you can also teach people as an educator. Remember, as an educator, you really do not need to have so much hands-on experience. Not so much, because even as an educator, you can deploy a web app, right? All you just need to deploy is a sample. You're not deploying a full Python or a Java script or anything. You're not deploying any programming language. There's no program you are deploying at all. There's no package given to you by developers. So as an educator, you can also build different things in the cloud environment and you can learn how those things work. So you are not doing anything technical. You are just learning how those services work. You also learn how to use different things like the AWS pricing calculator, how they can save costs with their calculator. Then you can be a cloud business development manager. So what we now been doing is you'll be creating use case because as a business developer, you must always use case to like all these small case studies, like how you could help local business adopt cloud email, how they can help them adopt cloud backup, those little things, right? So by the time you are going out to pitch, you're a graphic designer, right? You can create
Yes.
different templates using either any tool you want to use, either Photoshop, you can use your CorelDRAW or Canva. So you create
Yes.
different use cases. You can even write stories, and that's how I even make my class more interactive. Sometimes I've gone as far as to use Computer Village before to explain cloud security to organization. I don't want to go because it might actually like take our time, but you give them different story because one thing about people is we are talking to executives, we are talking to decision makers. They really do not understand technical things. So if you are saying technical jargons like the EC2 server, Lambda, you're talking about, they will not understand anything because they are just speaking something they don't really understand, right? So what you need to do is create a use case study. Now, let me give you another perfect example. Some organization. I'm going to use a very simple story to win you people, and which was a true life story actually. It happened to my colleague at a former office. Every Friday, ladies, now before you step out of the office, there's a need to go and like check yourself before you go out. You do your little makeup check, you check your hair, check everything. And there was somebody that turned on the tap and forgot to turn off that tap. And just because staff boss is waiting, or the person that will pick you is also waiting, they all dashed out and forgot that tap running. That tap ran from Friday till Saturday. Where it now even goes bad is that they have an automatic pumping machine because nobody is actually using a manual pump machine now. Once the water is down, the pumping machine pumps it back again. So you just notice that Friday night, developers were trying to do something, but they could not connect to the server. And as at that Saturday night, the office has been flooded. Like the tap has moved from the toilet down to where the server room is. The tap has pumped another one again overnight from Saturday down. So it now goes down that by the time they got in Sunday evening to check water, immediately they opened the door like this. It was like lagoons of water that came out of the office. Every IT infrastructure there has been fried. Now imagine if these guys were using the cloud environment, there will be nothing like that. So it took them months because for you to get all of these IT services, you need to first do consultation. They ship it down to you, especially if you're working with a company that's not in Nigeria, like Cisco and thereabouts. If they're the one installing those things, they're not in Nigeria. So it takes you about 4 weeks, 6 weeks, 8 weeks, 12 weeks to get those things deployed. After they've deployed it to your physical location, They will run a check, they will troubleshoot it because one way or the other, there will always be one port that is currently not working. They will install OS, they will do configuration. It can take about 3 months to set up that IT infrastructure back. But looking at it, you now tell this executive that instead of you not having that kind of issues, if you're using the cloud environment, even if the whole office is flooded, nothing happens to your IT infrastructure because everything is not within your premises in the cloud environment. So you could see how I was able to explain to those executives using just a simple story. Than me talking to them that you need to deploy an EC2 instance to get your server up, you need an S3 bucket for your storage. They will not understand those things. So are you seeing where I'm coming from? So you can use your graphic skills to create those use case studies, right? And like educate people on how they can transit to from on-prem down to the cloud environment. Do you understand now? So you can
All
just
right.
be a business developer, building use cases for different organizations. So if you're even working for us, for example, what you'll be doing all day is trying to get use case studies, how cloud environments can solve business problems. And you cannot solve a problem without understanding the basics of that particular tool. So that is why I recommended the cloud practitioner for Timmy. Then you can also go ahead to solution architect. Solution architect is not really technical like that. It's still majorly not so much technical hands-on like that. It's still basics hands-on. So you don't even need to be a technical person before you can do the associate level, which is solution architect. So you can do those two certifications and have a ground knowledge of AWS. Then so once you have that ground knowledge, you can solve any problem in the cloud. Do you understand?
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Balaji. Mr. Ahmad, does that answer your question? Hello, Mr. Ahmad, are you still there? Probably lost him. So I believe your answer actually made justice to that particular question. And I'm so sorry we have to take this last question from Mr. Ibrahim, who has been raising up his hand. So Mr. Ibrahim, can you unmute your mic and speak? Mr. Ibrahim? Okay, probably it's my mistake. So I believe there's no other questions from the members who has joined this session. And for me,
Hello, hello.
Yeah, Mr.
hello.
Ibrahim,
Hello.
we can hear you.
Yes, thank you for the presentation, sir.
My pleasure, Mr. Ibrahim.
Because my first question is that, please, can you recommend a particular course to take, and from which platform can we take that course? That's the first
Okay.
question.
Oh, all right. There are free resources on YouTube, but you can also take courses on Udemy. Actually, Udemy, most times Udemy. You can go to Udemy, then search out for this guy, Steven, I think Steven Marek. Yeah, Steven Marek. Let me try to get his
Yeah,
name. So
Stephanie Marek. Yeah.
Steph Murray, that guy is very, very, very detailed. So, in fact, for the business developers that want to go into cloud, just take that guy course. It's not technical at all. It will explain almost all the service. In fact, you can buy all the career paths. You can buy cloud practitioner, you can buy solution architect developer because it doesn't really go deep in hands-on, but it will explain those services for you such that you understand. Do you understand? So you can go to Udemy, check out for Stevie Marek. Rama, we open with that guy's name and just let me paste it on the chat.
Okay, no
So
problem.
search out for that guy on Udemy.
Okay.
All
Once search
right.
out that guy on Udemy, you can purchase his course. And I
Okay.
think the club too should have some stuff
Yeah.
to offer to you guys.
Yeah, I just wanted to add that in addition, we sent out an Udemy free username and password. That is a business account that AWS Cloud Club actually give to other the clubs. So I sent out the username and password of which you have unlimited, courses on Udemy for free. So Stephanie Marek courses are there for you. I will
Wow.
also I will also reshare that username and password so that you can also enjoy those courses as
Wow.
as I've mentioned by Mr. Balaji. So it's on our community, though the link will be expiring by September Yes, September, October. But at the same time, we still also we also have access to Cloud Academy courses, which we are definitely going to be sharing with us. So, but it's actually essential that we take it bit by bit by introducing this to us, and also we pass on those login credentials to our members. So we are really ready for you at AWS Cloud Club University of Ilorin. You just have to be committed with us, and keep checking the updates that we drop on our WhatsApp community. All right. So I believe that answers Mr. Ibrahim's question.
Yes, my second
Thank you
question,
so.
sir.
Okay.
Okay. Without any certification, maybe I mean, without any degree or whatever, can I land a job, a remote job outside the country as a cloud practitioner?
Okay, so I'm trying to get that degree. Is it university degree or the AWS certification?
University degree.
Oh, okay. So I'm proud to announce to you that I actually don't need a university degree. In fact, up to today, my certificates, in fact, I can't remember where I kept it. Do you get? So what you don't really need. So that's why I say welcome to everybody, anybody. So you really do not need a university degree. But actually, for you to land a remote job, like a global remote job, you need AWS certification, not your university degree. So first thing they will ask you is because you're going to go through stages of interview. So what can actually even give you um a door to those interviews? You can go about 4 stages is your certification. So and your cloud practitioner actually is not enough to land a job. So you need the solution architect. That's why I say you really do not need to do all the certifications actually, but you need most important thing, one of the associate level. If you look at the slide I shared on how to like kickstart, let me share that slide again. There's a part where I said choose your associate level. So you actually need to like choose that particular associate level, which is your solution architect. Once you've done solution architect, it's easier for you to land any remote job. So I think I can find that slide. Yeah, so this is it where I have choose your associate path. So after doing your cloud practitioner, ensure you choose one of your associate paths. Very important, solution architect. So with your cloud practitioner and solution architect, you can land a remote job anywhere. And which most of my students they all did that. It's global. This and stuff we've done before, right? And we have different organizations that work with cloud anywhere in the world. Even as at this morning, as interesting as at this morning, I still got a pop-up LinkedIn. LinkedIn recommended a solution architect job for a company in is it Francophone or something? I can't remember the name of that country. So all you just did is that your certifications, and you can be in your house and you're working with any organization. And because AWS is a global service, so wherever that company is, you can deploy their services for them anywhere or be an architecture anywhere in the world because it's a global service. So you need your solution architect and cloud practitioner. Those two certifications are very, very important to land a job. But if you're looking
Okay,
at
thank you very much.
maybe, yeah, so if you're looking at, because I know some of us are also students, if you're looking at maybe internship and all of that, you can start with cloud practitioner at least to give you an edge. At least cloud practitioner to give you an edge. But just in case, so let me now tell you another thing. Just in case you don't have certification, because I didn't have certifications before getting into where I'm currently am today, like the organization I work with today. If you have the knowledge and you can pitch yourself, remember I started with cold mails, right? You can write to those institutions, and those institutions can even help you get your certifications, right? All the certifications I got today, it was it was the company I work with that paid for the certification. I didn't pay for certification. So another thing again, because we are students back, we don't have money. Students don't really have like $100, $150 to pay for certification. So you can always join communities. And I think Raman also share more light on that. Communities also give free vouchers for certifications. So that's why you also need to like join clubs very well, join communities. They offer free vouchers. They give vouchers for cloud practitioner. They give vouchers for associates. So looking at it, if you start learning today and you find an opportunity to get an AWS voucher exam, you will ace that exam so well because you've studied and you've built yourself so far. Do you understand? So that is just how to get your certification. So you don't need a university degree at all.
Okay, sir. Now, thank you very much. My last question.
All right.
As a web developer, how can AWS collaborate or work together with a web developer?
Oh, you're a web developer.
Yeah.
That's very, very interesting. Now, as a web developer, there are services available in the cloud environment that you can use to build your code. I know I'm very sure you'll be familiar with all those your tools like your VS Code, your those your studio editing code that you use to write your languages. I'm proud to announce to
Yeah.
you that you really do not use those third-party applications to build website anymore. From the scratch, which is the beginning, there are services on the cloud environment for developers that you can use in the cloud environment to start writing your codes, and you can also deploy those services in the cloud environment. Do you understand? So you will learn how to use APIs, you will learn how to use all the development kits on AWS to build your service. I don't want to start going deep by mentioning the services because I understand that this is just like an introductory class, but there are services majorly for you as a developer. So all you just need is an AWS account, learn how to use your services, and it's sweet thing. You are doing the same thing, writing your codes and deploying it on the cloud environment.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Please, we will need your WhatsApp number and your LinkedIn profile address. Thank you very
All
much.
right, no problem. Rahman would share that before we round off today.
All
Thank you very
right.
much.
In fact, yeah, thank you very much, everyone. I believe everyone has found this session insightful, and to a lot of appreciation to Mr. Olamide Abolaji for also, you know, showing off today. In fact, this has been an insightful one, which I believe everyone has taken one point or the other from. So I think we are
Thank
good
you
to
very
close
much.
the session. Oh my god. Sir, are you open to still answer a question?
No problem. No problem.
My
Let's
God.
just
In fact, we've actually exhausted Mr. Olamide's time today. Thank you very much, Mr. Olamide. So we can go ahead, Abib Sulaiman.
yeah, you can go ahead. Yeah, Abib, you can unmute your mic.
So, good evening.
Hi, good evening.
Thank you very much, Mr. Aramide and the AWS Club team for this session. Really impactful. Um, I great. Thank you very much. Really appreciate.
My,
My
you're
own question,
welcome.
it is still regarding how to get certifications. Like, it is not easy for us, especially as a student, to get
Mm,
certifications. So, but one of the way I know that
yeah.
will even make it more easier for students to get it is this AWS Academy. So I just want to ask about it. Like, by when should we do? Like, when will it start so that we can just have that opportunity to get certifications and patches and all?
Okay, so I think I got your question on how to get certifications, right, as a student. I understand that, yes, as a student, we really do not have up to $100 or $150 to pay for certifications. So just like I said, right, they are communities that offer free vouchers. Sometimes it might be 50% voucher, right? 50% voucher for you to take your exam. Sometimes you can get it via AWS Educate. You can check out AWS Educate, sign up on AWS Educate. You also will get free credits, right, on AWS. Just search out for AWS Educate on your browser. Just go to Google, type AWS Educate and sign up. So you can get 50% voucher as well. So you join just like you're on this community now. There's because what AWS is doing, and that's why they have this club. Because they are here to come and help students, to support students. You can understand that not everybody can afford up to $100 or $150. So there will be times where you're going to be having to get vouchers to write your certifications, right? You have to, like, sometimes it might not even be 100%, it can be 50%. But I understand that there are also strategies that people give. You don't just give out vouchers to anybody. Do you understand? Because it will make sense after you've gotten the vouchers and you wrote the exam and the person actually did not pass. So what do you need to start doing now? You need to start like studying, like getting your hands dirty on the cloud environment. So when that opportunity comes on, and don't forget what I said. Please do not focus on certification first. Like if you are coming to the cloud space first, just leave this education apart and look at how you can study and get more knowledge in cloud. Once you get that knowledge and you have hands-on experience, then you can now start looking for how to get certification. In fact, there are organizations that are ready to pay for it. I told you I wrote about 5 to 4 certification. I wrote my fifth section this year, and the organization paid for everything from cloud practitioner, solution architect, down to DevOps developer. They paid for everything. So I didn't have to like pay for myself. So, and what I did was I had the knowledge, I had the answer experience. So I just need to like prove to them that I can try to do this thing, and they're ready to like bring you up. So AWS is actually a very global opportunity. Anywhere, any organization you step into, and you have cloud skills, the organization are ready to like bring you up. Do you understand? So while you are currently learning and getting hands-on experience, you can also be hunting for certifications voucher by joining community like this. When AWS is ready to give out vouchers, they will reach out to your community lead and he will definitely update you guys when there will be vouchers available for you guys to write your examinations. But you know, you cannot write an examination without getting the knowledge and hands-on experience. So I think for now, starting up as a student, get the knowledge and get an experience. Then when you actually get the opportunity, and how can you get the opportunity? By joining community like this, just like I mentioned, you can also go and sign up on AWS Educate. You will get free vouchers to write your exam. So you don't need to save up to $150 or $100. You will get free voucher to write your exam.
Yes, thank you very much, Mr. Olamide. In addition to that, you asked when the AWS Academy is going to start. I think I've actually answered this question in your direct message. The AWS Academy is not within my own capacity as a captain, but I'm working along with the school because the school only has access to the university has access to the AWS Academy. So we are hoping to start our boot camp, and that will be with AWS Academy. And once that program starts, then voucher can then roll out. At the same time, my own team personally also have their own agenda as to regard how we are giving certification vouchers to our members, and that will also be rolling out. And the way Mr. Abolaji has actually answered it is very very okay. That is, you have to focus on learning as of now before you now think of getting certification voucher, because by the time that certification voucher will be ready, those that will definitely get it will be those that are prepared, those that have found worthy, that okay, these guys know what they are doing, and definitely we are going to assess them, right? So we are going to assess them and then give the certification vouchers, which will be limited to those that have proved themselves worthy of writing the exam. So just wanted to add that to it. So thank you very much, Mr. Olamide, for this wonderful session once again. I
The
really
pleasure
appreciate
being here.
I really appreciate a lot for joining and giving all this insightful session. We hope that we can also bring you back again to this community, because a lot of people has even been sending me messages that you are really inspiring. Yeah, you're amazing. So and I
Thank you.
I personally also acknowledge that. So in addition, I would just like to make this announcement here for the members who are currently on this call. We'll be having some quiz sessions on the community group. Just try to ensure that you are active on the community, because we are trying to monitor those who are active, who will be getting some benefits, which are open to us. But then we are still considering those who are much more active on the community, because we feel that community has been quite silent, even though we are trying our best to engage. But at the same time, once messages are dropped on the community, try to engage, trying to contribute, right? So I just wanted to add that to it, and further announcement will be also made on the group. I think we are so good for today. The last thing for us to do is just to take a picture. So everyone who is as we always do now. So everyone who is able to turn on their camera, please do. We are taking screenshot that will be going to United States. You know, so we are submitting this to AWS. So if you
All
can turn
right.
on your camera, please do. Uh, Sorry for my own
Just give
background
me a
noise.
moment.
All right, all right. Let's have this. More people turn their camera. This picture has to be good, right?
Just give me a moment.
Hey, see where I am. Oh, oh. Okay, good.
All right.
Mr. Olamide, you are looking good there, sir.
Thank you very much, guys.
All right, good. So who's taking the picture? Following Victor? Yeah, the class sign. Don't forget, please. The C sign. Oh yeah, let's go. Following, are you taking the screenshot? Please confirm.
Yeah, I'm taking it, but I'm taking it with a phone though. I'm taking
All
it.
right, all right, no problem, no problem. Anyway, it works. So the class sign
Or
is there.
I can probably I should help you do it here because I'm using the system.
All right, all right. Thank you very much, sir. You are so amazing, Mr. Olamide.
You're welcome. All right. Yeah, I think I've
Okay,
done that.
let's go. The class
All right.
sign. Going to Las Vegas.
So do we see how people turn on the camera?
I think that's
Okay.
all.
All right. So
Yeah.
I've done that already. So I'll share that across to you.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. Olamide. It's so
No
good to be here
problem.
today. This has been an amazing session. One of our best session yet. Kudos to Mr. Olamide for joining. So I will definitely
Thank
be
you.
sharing the LinkedIn profile of Mr. Olamide to the community. Also, this recording will be limited to those who join this or who registered for this session. So I'll be sharing that also by mail from Meetup. Thank you very much, everyone who has joined. We hope to see you in our next event. Thank you. Bye.
All right.
Bye.
Thanks, Balaji.
Yeah.
Thank you.